Hello children. Today's topic, in our previous topic we have discussed desert adaptations of desert organisms. First plants, then we discussed about animals. Today we will discuss about aquatic adaptations. Aquatic habitats are of two types. First one is freshwater and second one is marine water. Freshwater habitats include ponds, rivers and certain lakes. Marine waters include seas and oceans. Okay. So, we'll see first about common adaptations that are seen in aquatic organisms, whether it is a marine organism or it is a fresh organism. General common aquatic adaptations. All organisms that live in aquatic habitats need something to float. What are the adaptations for floating? First, let us see in plants. When we studied about tissues, I said you a type of parenchyma called aerenchyma. Aerenchyma in the tissues of the aquatic plants. Aerenchyma in tissues of aquatic plants help them to float. Apart from this, aquatic plants have hollow stems. Hollow stems also help them to move very flexibly inside the water and float. The stem floats to the height of water, especially in lotus, water lily. The stem floats and the leaf is on the surface of the water. That is because of this hollow stems. It gives not only flexibility to the plant when water is moving. If it is not flexible, if it is stiff and it has bent in this direction, water is flowing in this direction. If it is bent in this direction, water is flowing in this direction. What happens? If it have to reverse, bend in reverse, and the water, this causes the stem to break. But if it is flexible, if water moves in this direction, it will bend in this direction. If water moves in this direction, it will bend in this direction. In that way, there is no problem if the stem is flexible. Hollow and flexible stems. Okay. And fishes have swim bladders. Swim bladders are parts that are associated with digestive system. Whenever it wants to float, it takes air into the floaters. Whenever it wants to go deep, the floaters will send the air into the blood. Okay. So this we'll discuss. Presently you understand that swim bladders help the fish to float in the water. And mammals like whales, dolphins have lungs that help them to float. Okay. And phytoplankton. Phytoplankton means unicellular plants, unicellular marine plants. They are found in oceans and sea water. They have oil droplets. Oil droplets for floating. Oil is lighter than water. So if they have oil droplets, they float on water rather than sinking. That's why ocean floor, the top of the ocean will be seen green in color if there are phytoplankton. Okay. So these are some adaptations for floating. Animals living in aquatic habitats need to have outermost covering in such a way that it's not damaged. For example, fishes have scales. Plants have waxy layer. And mammals like dolphins have fat called blubber under their skin. Blubber. So these things help the outermost what do you say, outermost covering of those organisms, which help the tissues from getting damaged. See, if you put your finger in water for 15 minutes, you can see there is a change in your finger. You can see folds in your finger skin. Even any organism, any terrestrial organism is kept in water for some time, all the tissues will become very soft and they'll easily get damaged. So as not to occur, these plants which are living in water or animals have some protection to protect themselves against the damage because of this. Either it is fresh water or salt water. Some of the examples are fishes have scales, plants have waxy layer, dolphins have blubber. Okay. So next let us, so this first we'll discuss about freshwater adaptations, then we'll go into marine water adaptations. Okay. Okay, before saying about freshwater adaptations, one more thing I have to say. See, there are secrets of swimming. Secrets of swimming. I said you these are these structures like swim bladders or lungs help them to float. How it helps in floating? Let us see. For example, if you take mammals like dolphins or whales, whatever type of whale it is, whatever type of dolphin it is, they have lungs because they are mammals. Okay, so these organisms, when they want to go into deep water, what do they do is, their lungs are larger size, they have oxygen. These lungs, the oxygen that is present in the lungs are shifted to muscles. These muscles have more oxygen binding cells. More oxygen binding cells compared to other mammals. Compared to other mammals, they have more oxygen binding cells. These oxygen binding cells take up all the oxygen that is present in the lungs. What this has two advantages. One is the lungs are collapsed. Lungs are collapsed. Collapsed means there is no more air in it. When the balloon air is removed from the balloon, how does it become? It is collapsed. It comes close like this. So at that time lungs are very heavy. Lungs are heavy. Any substance that is heavier will definitely go easily into the deeper layers of water. Yes or no? Second thing that happens is muscle also takes oxygen. So this muscle also becomes heavy. So because of this heaviness of body of these mammals, they can easily go into the deeper layers of sea or whatever water body it is present in. So this is how mammals or dolphins or whales go into the deeper layers. Now, if they want to come back to the surface, what do they do is, now muscles have more oxygen and lungs have less oxygen. What is dolphin or whale doing when it has to come out from the deeper layers? All the oxygen that is present in the muscles is shifted to lungs. Now lungs are filled with air, that is, they are inflated. Because of that, their body becomes lightweight. Muscles become less heavy and lungs become air filled or inflated, because of which it becomes easier for these mammals to come to the surface area. So this is how swimming happens in mammals. If you see the fishes, the same thing happens, but instead of lungs they have another structure called as swim bladders. Swim bladders are not like lungs. They are part that is attached to digestive system. They are attached to digestive system. Okay, if the swim bladder is filled with air, the fishes float. fishes float. When the swim bladder shifts the air into blood, air enters into blood, the fishes sink. Okay. The pressure at that time of when the air is in blood, pressure inside the body of the fish and pressure outside will be same. So even if it goes into deeper layers also, there is no problem for the fish. Okay. So this is how the fishes swim. Apart from swimming adaptations, there are also temperature adaptations that are seen in these aquatic organisms. Sea or ocean is a deep layers of water. Even some of the river waters are also very deep. So this is a very typical habitat that scientists are still trying to understand those organisms, how they are able to survive under great pressure. For every 10 meters depth of water, 1 atmospheric pressure, the pressure level increases to 1 atmospheric pressure. So if the more you go deeper, the more the pressure is. At that great pressure, we cannot live. Human beings cannot survive at that great pressure. How these animals, what are the adaptations that are present in these animals? Okay, the same animal again, if it is coming to the surface area, how is it able to survive? So these are some puzzling questions that scientists have. Even the darker zone that is present in the deeper layers of oceans, seas, even some of the deep rivers, ponds, lakes, they have deeper areas where there is no light penetration at all. Still, organisms are able to survive in these areas. So these are various puzzling questions that that are still being researched by scientists to understand. So we'll understand now what are the temperature adaptations that are seen in these organisms. Mammals like dolphins, whales have blubber under their skin, fat layer. Because of presence of fat layer, they cannot be affected by the cold temperature. When there is no sunlight in the deep layers, the temperature will be very cold. So that cold temperature will not affect this organism because the skin that is present in these organisms will have so much fat below it. Not like our body can store only limited fat. This blubber is the brown fat that is very warmer compared to our fat, which is white fat. Okay. So this blubber keeps the body warm. Second, fishes that live in deep layers have antifreeze substances in its blood. These antifreeze substances keep the fish warm and do not allow the blood of these fishes to freeze. Okay. So these are the temperature adaptations that are seen in aquatic organisms. Now these adaptations are absent in organisms which live in surface areas of water. Okay. So there are still more adaptations like salinity, adaptations for salinity, how they are, what are the nutritional adaptations seen in these organisms. That we'll be discussing in our next class. Okay children, that is it for today. I hope you have followed it. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through my number, message me through WhatsApp number. Keep yourself safe, healthy and also study well children. Bye.